guys. So we're going to do math a little bit differently today. You are going to be answering your problems along with me today. So we are on page 578 and 579. So make sure you're open to that page. If you need to pause, go ahead and pause while you get set up. But what we're going to be doing today is, instead of looking at just shapes that are drawn on the page, we are going to, those are called 2D shapes. We are going to be looking at 3D shapes. So 2D shapes are flat. 3D shapes stick out. They have dimension to them. They have 3 dimensions. That's what the D stands for. So we are going to be observing some of the features of our shapes. So first off, we're going to talk about the 3 things that we're going to be looking for today. We have flat surfaces on 3D shapes, right? So do you guys see that this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flat surfaces? The flat surfaces are exactly what they sound like. They're the flat parts of the shape. Take a look at this one. This one only has 2. We have 1 here and 1 here, but the rest is rounded. It's not flat. How many flat surfaces does this one have? There's none, right? Okay, so that's what I mean by flat surfaces. Vertices, we talked about these before, they're the corners, they're the points. So let's look at our corners. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are our vertices. How many does this one have? Just 1. And what about this one? 0. There are no vertices. Actually, same with this one. Take a look. There are no vertices on a cylinder, is what this is called. There are no vertices. And the last thing that we're going to be looking at is edges. So I'll look at this one again. They are where the flat surfaces meet. They create an edge. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's a lot of edges on this one. So we are going to go ahead and fill out the charts that are on these 2 pages because I have the shapes here with me, and I don't want to assume that you guys all have all of these shapes at home, although you probably do. You probably have some boxes that look sort of like this. You might have a ball that looks like this, but I'm not going to assume that you guys all have a cone in your house, although some of you might. Okay, so let's get started. First, they actually have this one filled out, but we're going to do it together anyway. This is called a rectangular prism. I wanted to make sure that they want you guys knowing the names, and they do. So this is a rectangular prism. It's called a rectangular prism because this flat surface is a rectangle. And prisms have squares on both ends, or rectangles on both ends. All right. So here we go. We are going to count the flat surfaces. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's fill that in. 6. Vertices. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And our edges, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Now let's look at our cone. How many flat surfaces do you see? There's only one, right? So one flat surface. Vertices, how many vertices do you see? One vertice. And how many edges? There's one edge here, but that's it. So, 1, 1, 1. All right. So now on the next page, well, actually, I'm not going to write it up on the board. You guys are just going to write it in your books, okay? So follow along with me because I'm going to go through each one. So the first one, the first picture that they show is a soccer ball. So which of these shapes would be a soccer ball? The sphere, right? It's a ball. So number of flat surfaces. What are you going to put in there? How many flat surfaces? 0, right? So make sure you put a 0 in there. Number of vertices. How many vertices do we have? 0, right? So put a 0 in there. Number of edges. What do you see? 0. There's 0 edges. So this is 0, 0, 0. All right, now let's look at that cube. I have one right here. And so let's find the number of faces or flat surfaces. So sometimes these are called faces. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So go ahead and put a 6 in that first box. Number of vertices. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So go ahead and put 8 in that box. And the last one is edges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there are 12. You can go ahead and write that in there. Our next picture is a drum. So which of these shapes looks the most like a drum? The cylinder, right? All right, so the number of flat surfaces on the cylinder. Ready? Let's count them. 1, 2. That's it. So in that first box, you're going to put 2. All right, let's count our vertices. Are you ready? There aren't any, right? So we're going to put a 0 in where it says number of vertices. And the last one, number of edges, we have 1, 2. Okay, so now I'm going to explain the last one, and then you guys are going to do it on your own. It says, follow along with me, Lily has an object that looks like a 3D shape. So it looks like one of these. The object has 2 flat surfaces and 0 vertices. So take a look at this one. Does this have 2 flat surfaces and 0 vertices? Does this one have 2 flat surfaces and 0 vertices? Does this one have 2 flat surfaces and 0 vertices? Does this one have 2 flat surfaces and 0 vertices? Does this one have 2 flat surfaces and 0 vertices? Okay, so you can go ahead and draw a picture of that in the box. And that's all you have left to do. All right, guys, I'll see you